All right, so before I go through the build with you, there will be chapters so you can scroll. I want to show you what it's capable of within Securement Silo Psi. So let's do a quick solo run. Okay, let's go. Just hop down there. I'll be collecting stuff as I go, but I'll try to cut out anything boring, you know? Right, so see these guys? If I could get a proc, it would be beautiful. That should kill them all. That explosion damage is crazy. The frost explosion damage that these icicles do. So the point of this build is you'll always want to be shooting the crystals as they pop out. As you can see, we just pretty much cleared the room there. So yeah, that is how this build absolutely destroys this room. It's insane. It's so powerful. So this room is filled with enemies. It's no issue. Again, we just take them all out. Easy does it. Sometimes they do freeze. I still don't know how to get around that. And then they're just stuck. Rain Man just... well, he's not the Rain Man. That's a deviation. But Umbrella Dude, just gone. You do want to be a little careful here. This Rosetta mechanic is tough. And bullets actually hurt now. They've definitely changed the damage values on enemy bullets. So he can melt you down pretty fast. So do be careful. I'll just take him down quick. Just proc a frost vortex in front of us here. If it'll ever proc. Sometimes that happens. But yeah, we can just burst him down from here. No small issue. I need to heal. We should pop our deviation out. He'll help us as well. Oh. Gut bag got me. And my deviation's still dealing damage, which is great. Wow. Of course I would struggle this much when I'm trying to showcase the damn build. But look at all these guys around me. There's another gut bag. Jeez. Okay, let's take out these ads. It's like feeling like Leia all over again. Just die, all of you. Why is there so many ads? I never noticed before, but then again, I usually go stand on this platform over here to fight this boss. But as you can see, we're melting him down pretty fast. I wonder, should I kill this blast? I think I should. Let's get him. Whoa. Just for fun. Why not? Okay, that's the glutton done. We can get his drop. And yeah, that's that. Very easy. I did go down, but I mean, that was because of the gut bag. So yeah, 400,000 damage, no issues. It's really good. So let's talk about the gear. Obviously, we've got the M416 Silent Anabasis. We're using the Vortex multiplier on this. For our support weapon, I'm just using the good old trusty Wildfire with the Spreading Marks mod on. It just works the best for me. I know Vulnerability Amplifier is arguably better, but I like Spreading Marks because I like marking the whole room when I remember to mark stuff. As for your weapon, you probably want to go with the Northern Frozen Pike, which I still haven't unlocked. So I'm just using a stun baton. But Frozen Northern Pike would be good on this with the Frosty Blessing mod. That way you can heal yourself as well. As for the armor, I'm using 4 Shelterer. See, the Blackstone... So the Blackstone gear could give you a lot of damage if it were... if it was cold enough. But see, the thing is, Shelterer is just more dependable. It's not dependent on the weather. dishing out all of this damage. So I quite like 4 Shelterer, especially for the extra 10% elemental damage. So I'm using Shelterer hat, Shelterer mask, top, and pants. For the key gear, we're using the snow camo gloves, which gives us those 4 additional ice missiles when an icicle explodes. Really good. So yeah, that's what I'm using. And then I'm using 1 of the Blackstone boots with +5 cold resistance, which is pretty helpful. You don't necessarily need it. So you could go with Lone Wolf or... Actually, let me double check before I tell you lies. Yeah, I would go with Lone Wolf. Reload speed also could be nice. What else? Bastille, yeah, maybe. But other than that, I like the Blackstone shoes. They're good. As for the mods, I'm using Deviation Expert on the hat. It gives you status damage, which is fantastic for this build. All substats, you want to go with element damage and status damage if you can find it. On my mask, I have Lingering Frost. It gives you up to 60% additional damage on the Frost Vortex, so it's really good. For your top, you might want to use... It's take me a while to scroll through all my mods. You might want to use Flame Resonance on your top. It gives you additional status damage, which is really nice. And I have one with element damage. But you know what? I like Rejuvenating. I've got element damage on here. I've got damage against elite enemies, normal enemies. It's great. And status damage reduction, which I feel like is maybe a little bit important given the scenario. I just like the self-healing effect that Rejuvenating gives us. So if I really want to min-max my DPS and look like a badass in dungeons and out-DPS everybody, I'll go with Flame Resonance. But for the most part, Rejuvenating does the job just fine. On the pants, there's a bit of debate. I am not sure. I've seen someone using Bullet Siphon, which, weapon damage, no. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So the other option would be Abnormal Increase, which gives us plus 10% status damage upon empty magazine reload, which would be great, but we need the rapid calibration to really make this one work nicely. So what I've gone with is I'm using Precision Charge, which ups our elemental damage. But I tell you what, status damage is probably going to be king for this build. So when we can get the rapid calibration with double elemental onto our gun, this is the mod to use. On the gloves, you're going to want Elemental Overload for the extra Frost Vortex damage, for the extra Ice Crystal damage. Ice Crystal Explosion damage, which you saw in the dungeon run, is our biggest source of damage, is going to be even further pushed by the Elemental Overload. So let's stick with that one. On the boots, it's the same as always. You either want Slow and Steady, or you want Covered Advance. It doesn't really matter which one you take. Whatever you have the better elemental and status damage substats on is the one you'll go for. So I'm taking this Covered Advance, which has served me well in my Power Surge build and in my Burn builds. So yeah, this is the way to go. Cradle-wise, I haven't really thought of the Cradle yet, but let's run through it. As you can see, I haven't even equipped 2 of my stuff. So let's run through it quick. Ooh. Okay, so you're definitely going to want Frost Sense. That's for damn sure. Okay, so basically your core Cradle is going to be... Well, I've got Anti-Void because we don't have the Rifle Enhancement this season. But Tactical Combo, always a must for when you're doing a Bullseye support build. Status Enhancement is a no-brainer. I'm activating Lone Walker at the moment, but you can also use Side-by-Side when you're fighting in a team. Then we've got Sustained Suppression, which is a must for any Frost Vortex build, Frost and Burn. Steady Hand, we could use Steady Hand. I don't see why not. It's going to help damage mark targets even more in the weak spot. Frost Sense is a new one, and it's absolutely a must. Every time you summon Frost Vortex, Ice Crystal, or Ice Spike, frost damage plus 3% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 12 times. So it might be worth trying out the Frost Top, which allows you the purple frost top, which allows you to generate ice spikes. Then you'll be doing frost vortex, ice crystal, and ice spikes, and all of that damage together is just going to keep this fully stacked all the time. It's crazy. 36% additional frost damage. Holy crap. That would be amazing. That's about it. Nothing else here really takes my fancy. You might want to, if you're using the Frozen Northern Pike, you might want to invest in Tough Build, because then if this stacks with Frosty Blessing, you'll be restoring 20% lost HP every time you kill a target in melee, which is insane. That's really insane. You could also go with Sky Operation, which I'm probably going to activate as my 8th, because I don't have melee really until I unlock the Frozen Northern Pike. So yeah, that's the build. That's the build, guys. And I tell you what, not only is it a lot of fun, but it's so powerful. For this build to out damage my Power Surge build from last season that I soloed Leia with, it's saying something. This build it means business, guys. I am going to unlock the Frost Shotgun as well, and I will let the Burn Shotgun, and I'll let you know how that goes, because I want to do a Frost build, a Burn build, and a Fast Gunner build. Fast Gunner because it's high weapon damage, and that's going to be really helpful when we take on the Chaos Weavers. So yeah, that's my Frost build. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.